What are the kind of core challenges that most businesses face when they're trying to construct a creative production strategy?
Well, I mean, the list can go on, but I think some of the key ones that are really resonating with clients on a global and a local scale is where business units operate independently. That can sometimes lead to brand inconsistency. Markets, for example, operating like they have their own creative freedom on a global campaign, and you need solutions that can cater for this. What's right for that market? Can you adapt it from a market nuance perspective through tech or whatever? But more often than not, when that's happening in market, is a business actually duplicating agency fees, for example, in those markets? And then also, do you get that local market feedback when building into a global campaign? So that's one thing that we hear a lot about, and where we help support our clients. And then there's that seasonality of requirements when it comes down to resource and the volume of activity. There's that unpredictability, but that bolt-on resource that you might need through the peaks and the troughs, and also being able to manage that BAU. There's multiple stakeholders and suppliers. There's all the buzzword bingos that's going on at the moment: centralized or decentralized, or coupling or recoupling, or unconscious decoupling. Fancy terms, but it's finding that right balance. And I think that building in sort of the BAU whilst trying to get an answer is half the challenge. And then also, do you have any sort of structured testing and optimization framework or tools to look at? And then let's not forget the proliferation of channels, AI, data, and media integration. It's marrying creativity with production and media. It's not an easy fix, and it can be quite overwhelming for clients. And I think that if not done properly, transformation of this nature can sometimes backfire if you're not too careful. But it's not all impossible to resolve. It's about finding the right partners who can make the journey less daunting, those that have done it before. And there's a stat that says marketeers only do about 30% of the role they're supposed to do. And I think, the rest of it's bogged down in admin or unnecessarily meetings or chasing agencies, etc. And are we going to be creating more work with these transformation programs, or bringing efficiency and value to the table? And it's that constant state of evaluation that we need to look at, because by the time you've onboarded new tech, new tools, etc., are they out of date? By the time you've implemented and rolled them out, or can you change them, adapt them quickly? And you just can't afford to stand still at the moment. Whether it's checking on your agency partnerships, which how does their tech stack map against your tech stack, and can you integrate with their tech stack, and how do you measure what you're doing, and keeping your finger on the pulse of what's actually happening out there. We can't predict the future. Although a lot of people, certainly across LinkedIn, are saying they can. It's how you prepare for it, and that's why we look at several things when it comes to tech and offshore, onshore. It's that bespoke solution versus over-the-shelf tech that might be worth considering, with added flexibility and gives you that ability to pivot.